We got the Facebook Marketplace boiler. We're gonna break her down and pipe her our way. Ready, Nemo?
Yeah.
All right, so the hardest thing of putting videos out is finding something to talk about for 7 or 8 minutes. That's my baby gazelle right there, Big Mo. Before he grew up, this was probably about 7 months ago. She was sitting in the spank bank. I figured I might as well edit it, throw it out there the week that we're giving away a Pro Press gun on 30packjack.com, the M12. Buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, buy a sweatshirt, doesn't matter what it is. You'll be entered in the pool, and when your shirt gets delivered, an M12 Pro Press gun will go with it. Now let's talk about mindset for the next 6 minutes. Yeah. I'm using zone valves. Did you not hear me? This is a Facebook Marketplace boiler. The dude bought it off of Facebook Marketplace. I tried to use as many pieces as possible and had to buy the rest. We didn't go with the zone valves. We went with the zone valves. We didn't go with the 007s. Speaking of 007, on Nintendo 64, that was my jam back in 96, maybe 97. But mindset, right? So when you work for yourself, your mind completely changes from the way you used to think. If you rely on somebody else to cut you a paycheck every week, now don't take offense to this because I was there. I'm just telling you what happens to your brain. So you're getting a paycheck cut to you every week, then you are, I'm trying to word this without, making anybody feel like less of a human. You don't have to go out and get jobs. You don't have to do all that extra work. You go to work 8 hours, you get paid for what you do. The most common phrase you hear as an employee is, that's not my job. That's not what I got paid for. And then the boss always says you got to do more with less. I worked around people for years where they just didn't know any different. You showed up at 6 and you left at 2. You didn't take lunch. And if you did, then you left at 2:30. Sometimes you had to work 7 to 3:30. Then you went home and you did it all over again, and so on and so forth. But when you go out on your own, your brain starts to change because you're in charge of the income that you're getting. If you don't go out and find the work, you're not going to get any income. If you don't go out and do the work, you're not going to have any income. When I did the 12 condos, every Saturday morning, the actual guy he was the man. It was a one-man operation that built 12 condos on his own, out of his pocket, journeyman electrician, but financially savvy. So where I'm getting at is when I worked for the man, I was never surrounded by people that thought like him or any other investors that I deal with. The people I dealt with we're here from 9 to 5 and then we're going home. This is life. We're here to do a 30-year bid and get retirement so that way I can enjoy my last 15 years. And that's honestly what I thought was going to happen, because from 2000 to 2000 and whatever, 15, 16, 17, the America pushed college and working for somebody else in order to get to retirement. Like, that's how you were going to be successful. You climb the ladder in corporate America and get to the top and then retire, or you go to college and do the same bullshit. I was brainwashed, honestly, until I went out on my own. But I only went out on my own because I started an Instagram page and picked up on a bunch of local plumbers that were around me. One of them, shout out Ryan Bickerton. I got messages from him in 2019 of me questioning him on how he went out, how he operates, how he got health insurance, all the scary things, retirement, you name it. But anyways, back to the guy who owns the 12 condos. Every Saturday morning he'd come out and we'd talk for about an hour. And it would always be financially savvy information I would get off him. We would talk about taxes. We would talk about how he came up. And the one thing that stuck with me, in his brain, he even tells his own kids, you need something to pay you weekly. You need something to pay you monthly. You need something to pay you quarterly. And then you need something to pay you yearly. I would have never got told any of that shit when I was working for somebody else, because they were just there for their 8 hours. Except for one dude, shout out Justin Ford. He's the reason why I bought my first house when I was 26 years old. I was paying $900 a month to rent, and he told me that I should start looking for a house because you could probably find one cheap if I did all the work on my own. And he put a fire under my ass. Superstar saved up 10 grand, because I gave her control of all the financials. And then we put a down payment on a house that was $149,000. I did 2 months worth of work on it after hours. And the mortgage was $1,000 and a couple of change, pennies. So not that different from rent. Then I was able to sell it 7 years later and make $49,000 off of it after, plus the amount we paid down in the 7 years. Anyways, once you go out on your own, you have no choice but to survive. And if you surround yourself with people that are also surviving the same way, you get different ideas, is basically what I'm getting at. So if you're working for somebody else, you guys all have the same ideas. But if you're working for yourself and you surround yourself with a bunch of people all trying to survive, that's a bunch of different ideas as well. At this point in my career, I'll go out and fucking cut grass while it's snowing out just to collect a paycheck before I ever went back. Because my biggest fear was retirement and healthcare. Mark Mason from Eastside Properties told me that as soon as you start making money, healthcare will be taken out once a month and you won't even feel it. And I didn't believe him at that time, but now I do believe him. Retirement. Doug, DMC Electric, I believe he said it before. You want to get retirement, a 401k, working for the man at a job you just don't like, don't want to do for 30 straight years. Well, if you come and work on your own, you can make your own retirement, double it, triple it. Like, the only person holding you back from that would be yourself. So as long as you're financially smart with your money, you could do more working for yourself in 20 years than you would be working for somebody else for 40 years. Guaranteed. But it just comes with a lot of stress. Every day, your phone rings. This phone that I'm holding right now never stops. If I can recommend one thing to somebody just getting started, buy another phone. And start that number as your business number. I wish I would have separated my personal phone number from my business phone number and all these social medias. Anyways, hopefully you guys gathered some good information out of that. And here's my boiler with baby Gazelle Mo. All purged, ready to go. And just so you know, we're in February now, so this boiler's been working since late October. So if anybody says something's not working right, guess what? She's fine. It's been working for 6 months, at least. So, thanks for listening. 30packjack.com. I didn't do the exhaust pipe.